Hello and welcome to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to discuss about cell and its type. The term cell was coined by scientist Robert Hooke. Cell is the basic unit of life. It is also called the functional unit of life. All the cells arise from the pre-existing cells. Irrespective of the fact whether a cell is a unicellular, multicellular, animal cell, plant cell, prokaryotic or a eukaryotic cell, all the cells have four things in common: cytoplasm, DNA, genetic material, cell membrane, also called plasma membrane, and ribosomes. Cells are of two types, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Prokaryotic cells usually include bacteria and archaea. They are unicellular mostly, and eukaryotic cells include animal cells and plant cells. Animal cells are spherical in shape, and plant cells are cuboidal. Prokaryotic cells are called so because the term caryon means nucleus, and because prokaryotic cells were developed before nucleus developed, so that's why we call it before. Pro means before, karyotic means nucleus, before nucleus. So prokaryotic cells, they do not have a nucleus, whereas eukaryotic cells, animal cell or plant cells, they have nucleus. Also, they have membrane bound organelles which are not found in prokaryotic cells. So let's see what is inside a prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cells have a cell membrane, also called plasma membrane, and a cell wall. The cell wall is made up of peptidoglycans. It also has hair-like appendages called cilia, which helps it to hold the substratum. Some prokaryotic cells may also have a tail-like structure called flagella, and it helps them to propel. It helps in movement. Besides, they have a nucleoid region where naked DNA is present and ribosomes along with the cytoplasm. Now moving on to the eukaryotic cells. So whether an animal cell or a plant cell, both of them have membrane-bound organelles and nucleus, as well as the plasma membrane. Plant cells have a cell wall, which is usually not present in animal cell, but this cell wall is different from the cell wall of prokaryotes. Plant cells, the cell wall of plant cells is made up of cellulose. Inside animal and plant cells are present endoplasmic reticulum with ribosomes in eukaryotic cells. The one which have ribosomes are called rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the one without ribosomes are called smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Animal cells also have mitochondria, vacuoles, ribosomes, Golgi apparatus, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Inside the nucleus, it has chromatin, that is DNA plus protein, and lysosomes. In eukaryotic DNA is packaged because the linear DNA cannot fit inside a small nucleus. So thus, we package it like a organized structure along with the protein molecules and form a complex called chromatin. Whereas plant cells, besides having a cell wall and cell membrane, they have a centrally placed vacuole, very big vacuole, and a nucleus along with endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, mitochondria, centrioles, cytoskeleton, peroxisomes, lysosomes, and everything. Now let's see what cell membrane is. Cell membrane, also called plasma membrane, looks like this. It comprises of phospholipid bilayer. So this is a single unit of a phospholipid bilayer assembled with the hydrophilic phosphate heads and hydrophobic tail. Hydrophilic outside and hydrophobic inside. The function of cell membrane or plasma membrane is acts as a barrier between cytoplasm and the external environment. It helps in cell signaling, also helps in selection of substances that enter or leave the cell. So thus it controls, moves in and what goes out. Also, it helps in cell recognition. Next important organelle is nucleus. Nuclei, also called nuclei, this is a singular form. The largest organelle is surrounded by the double membrane nuclear envelope and is continuous with a rough endoplasmic reticulum. It has a nuclear pore which is present outside the nucleus. These nuclear pores are small gaps in the nuclear envelope that allow exchange between the nucleus and cytoplasm. Chromosomes contain the hereditary material DNA that is organized into genes which control the cell's activity and inheritance. Nucleolus, which is present inside the nucleus, also called nucleoli, helps in formation of RNA, rRNA. Rough endoplasmic reticulum, which is in continuation with the nuclear envelope, provides a pathway for the transport of materials through the cell. Eukaryotic ribosomes are ATS, which are present on the surface of the rough endoplasmic reticulum. They are sites for protein synthesis and they produce the rough appearance. Prokaryotic ribosomes are smaller in size. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it is a site for lipid synthesis and steroids, example cholesterol and reproductive hormones. Ribosomes are made up of rRNA present inside the nucleolus and proteins. This is the large subunit of ribosomes. It's involved in production, processing, transportation, and storage of lipids, carbohydrates, and steroids. Golgi apparatus, also called Golgi complex, present in both plant and animal cells. They have two phases, cis phase and a trans phase. The vesicles which you can see here, they are incoming transport vesicles. Golgi apparatus is part of endomembrane system, and the flattened sacs of membrane similar to the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. It modifies proteins and packages them into vesicles or lysosomes. So basically the proteins which are synthesized on the ribosomes, they're packaged here inside the vesicles and they're tagged also so that they can reach the destination. For that particular destination they are produced or secreted. This is how a vesicle looks like. This is the vesicle surface, the internal water bilayer, the membrane bound sac for transport and storage. Vacuoles present again both in plant and animal cells, but the size differs. The plants have a bigger vacuole, whereas animals, they have small vacuole. It has a central vacuole, a cell sap, and a tonoplast. The sac in plant cells surrounded by the tonoplast, selectively permeable membrane it has, and vacuoles in animal cells are not permanent and they are small. Lysosome is like a suicidal bag. It helps in clearing the dead cells, debris. This is the membrane. Inside the lysosome is present hydrolytic enzymes and also transport proteins. The specialist form of vesicles which control hydrolytic enzymes, the enzymes that break down biological molecules and break down waste materials such as worn out organelles used extensively by cells of the immune system and in apoptosis, programmed cell death. Centriole, which is actually not found in flowering plants and fungi, but in other eukaryotic cells. It has a hollow fiber made up of microtubules, two centrioles at right angles to each other, and they form a centrosome, which organizes the spindle fiber during cell division. This is how a cell looks like during mitosis and meiosis. The spindle fiber arranges the chromosomes and make them ready for symmetrical division. Alpha and beta dimer of microtubules. This is how it looks like, and these dimers can reversibly attach to a microtubule. Dimers have a helical arrangement, and these are made up of alpha beta tubulin. Tubulin is the basic unit of a microtubule, combined to form dimers and are then joined into protofilaments. The dimers form 13 protofilaments around a hollow core, and the cytoskeleton is used to support and helps in movement of the cell. Microvilli. These are cell membrane-like projections. Wherever you see such finger-like projection, their role is to increase the surface area for absorption. Cilia, which is present in the prokaryotic cells, these are hair-like projections made from microtubules, and they allow the movement of substances over the cell surface. Flagella, as mentioned above, they are similar in structure to cilia. They are made of longer microtubules. A prokaryotic cell may have two flagella also, and then these organisms are called dinoflagellates. Although eukaryotic cells do not have a flagella, but there is one exception, sperm cells. They have flagella, which helps them to swim during fertilization. Flagella also contract to provide cell movement, for example, in sperm cells. That's all for the video.